Algebra Word Problems number 8A. Choose the right formula for the word problem. Formulas show how one quantity depends on one or more other quantities. For the area of a rectangle, we have area equals length times width. And as the length and width change, the area changes. Formulas can be evaluated if we know all the values except one quantity. Just substitute the known amounts and solve by isolating the variable. We write the unknown value to the left of the equal sign, and we write the algebraic expression that equals the unknown value to the right of the equal sign. See? Just like here, we're trying to solve for a. If we know the length and width, then this is by itself on the left side of the equal sign. See? So choosing the correct formula for the word problem is as important as solving it correctly. We want to make sure we isolate the variable to one side. And look at all these formulas I've got here along the top of our work area here. It's a lot of formulas. There's a lot more out there. These are just a few. We've got the perimeter and area of a rectangle, a triangle, and a square. We've got the circumference and area of a circle. We've got the perimeter and area of a parallelogram and a trapezoid, or a regular n-gon. You know, that means we can put any number here. N stands for number. So it could be a 28-sided polygon, and that would be an n-gon, see? We've got 3D figures, a rectangular solid and a cylinder. See, length, width, and height tells us it's a 3D figure. It's got volume, see? We could fill them up. It's got volume and surface area. That's what the S stands for. All right, so how do we know which formula to choose for the right problem? Emma needs wood molding to enclose a rectangular window. How many feet of molding is needed for a window 5 feet long and 4 feet wide? Well, you know the molding goes around the outside edge here, right? It goes around the outside of the window. We wouldn't want to cover the glass up with wood now, would we? So what formula would fit that problem? If you said the perimeter of a rectangle, you'd be right. It's 2 times the length plus the width. If we plug the information of the 5 feet and the 4 feet into here, and we multiply it by 2, we're going to know what the perimeter is. See? As we use bigger or smaller windows, we can still use the same formula. How about we're laying tile for a new floor, and the room measures 15 feet by 12 feet. How many 1-foot square tiles do we need? Are we doing perimeter again? Are we only tiling around the outside edge of the floor and leaving the inside untiled? That would be kind of silly, wouldn't it? So maybe we're looking for the area of a rectangle. See? That's the length times the width. If we multiply the 15 by the 12, then we would know the entire area of this floor. So the area equals the length times the width. That's the correct formula for that problem. A school playground has 3 sides measuring 150 yards, 125 yards, and 191 yards. What is the distance around the playground? Well, that right there is a clue. It says around the playground, not on the inside. So we've got a triangle here, don't we? So it's not a rectangle or a square or a circle. Is it the perimeter of a triangle or the area of a triangle? Remember, area fills up the entire inside and the perimeter goes around the outside edge. We want perimeter. P equals A plus B plus C. Because we're going around the outside edge and counting it, aren't we? We're counting the 150 yards on one side, the 125 yards on the other, and the 191 yards, and we're going to add them all up together and know, like if we wanted to put a fence around it, right? And speaking of fences, about how many feet of fence do we need to enclose a circular garden with a 28-foot radius? Well, we know the radius starts in the center and it goes to the outside edge. So if we know that's 28 feet, how many feet of fence do we need to go around the outside? Well, what formula would we need? Well, we know it's not a rectangle, triangle, or square. We know that it's a circle. So it's got to be one of these two. Do we need to know the circumference around the circle, or do we know how much to fill up on the inside of the circle? Well, we're building a fence, so we need the circumference, which is 2 pi r. The circumference is going to equal 2 times pi 3.14 times the radius, the 28 feet. How about a triangular gable roof is 12 yards across and 3 feet high? How many shingles do we need to cover the roof? Well, we know it's triangular. So do we need perimeter or area? Remember, perimeter goes around the outside and area fills it in. Well, you wouldn't just shingle around the outside area of a roof, would you? You'd cover the whole roof with the shingles. So we need area. We need the half BH. The area is equal to half the base of the roof times the height of the roof. And then we'll know how many shingles to get, okay? How about we're moving, and we need to know the volume of the moving truck that measures 18 feet long, it's 6 feet wide, and it's 7 feet tall. Well, that's 3 measures, isn't it? So that's a clue that we're dealing with volume, right? And it says volume in the problem. So we need volume of what? A rectangular solid. So LWH will help us figure it out. V equals the length times the width times the height. Okay? Pardon my H. How about we're making tall round candles and need to know how much wax a candle mold will hold so we know if we have enough wax. All right, what shape is this? Do you know? That's a cylinder, isn't it? And if we need to know how much wax can go inside of it, then we need to know the volume of a cylinder. That's pi r squared h. So we need to know the volume, which is equal to pi times the radius times the radius times the height. And then we'll know how much wax we need. How about if we're painting a mural of a sun and we need to know how much yellow paint to buy? And it's big. It's on a big, huge wall. Well, it's a circle, isn't it? So we know it's going to be one of the circle ones. Is it going to be the circumference that goes around the outside edge like the fence in the garden? Or is it going to fill it in like the tiles did? Well, we need to fill it in with yellow paint, so we're going to need the area. That's pi r squared. The area equals pi 3.14 times the radius times the radius. And then we'll know how much yellow paint we need to buy. How about if you're painting walls and you need to know the amount of paint to buy? Well, your walls are square or rectangle, aren't they? So we need the area of a rectangle. Area equals length times width. Most walls in a house are rectangular. Area is equal to the length times the width of the walls. You measure how long the wall is across the floor and how tall it is or wide it is going up to the ceiling. You multiply those together and you know the cubic feet of your wall. How about if we're laying new wall-to-wall carpeting and we need to know how much to buy? What is the shape of the floor in your rooms? They're rectangles, aren't they? So guess what? We need the area again. We need area equals the length times the width. If you measure the length of the room and then the width of the room and multiply that together, you'll know how many cubic feet are in the room, or cubic yards, however you're measuring it, okay? So it's really important to know which formula to choose. That'll help you. It really will. Because if you choose the wrong one, you could be solving the wrong problem and you could get it marked wrong. So remember, perimeter is an outside edge like a fence. Area fills it all in, and volume fills it up like the inside of a cup or a bowl, right? How much it can hold. And S stands for surface area. That's how much the surface area is going around the outside of the box or the cylinder, okay? We're going to talk about formulas in the next video, and I'm going to show you how you can rearrange the formula to make it suit your own needs and make it do what you want. You can be the boss of it, okay? I'll see you there. Bye.